Howdy there, I'm Matt McKinley and we're burning daylight.
Today's episode is brought to you by Don't Be a Gunsel, more affectionately known as the D-Bags. Mr. Josh Williams has partnered with us on this and has become our main sponsor of the show. And a little bit about Don't Be a Gunsel. This is just right from their description on their page. We are farm, ranch, and rodeo folks who are tired of posers, fakes, and wannabes. So we carved out our own brand with a simple message: don't be a gunsel. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram, Don't Be a Gunsel, and don'tbeagunsel.com. They've got some hats and some stickers, and then they always share some of the best memes I've seen, so go check them out. Buy some of their merch. If you do, use the promo code BURNINDAYLIGHT and get yourself 10% off. That's BURNINDAYLIGHT. Get yourself 10% off. Get yourself some cool shit. Help a brother out. And so thanks to Don't Be a Gunsel. Go check them out.
Good morning, daylight burners. How we feeling today? Me and Karma are getting ready to ride out. We're gonna go ship some dairy heifers and try to get shit done before it gets real hot. So gonna be another cooker today, but hope everybody's doing all right. Hope you're enjoying the shows, and thanks for sending all the pictures and stuff, and I'll keep them coming and I will keep putting them up. So anyhow, let's see where today takes us. So we'll catch you here in a little bit. Well, there is the old Karma mare. She's feeling a little fresh this morning. She ain't been rode down yet, so she's got some stride, got a little stamina to her, and yeah, she's kind of a typical mare. Got a little attitude. Doesn't really like to be told what to do. You kind of got to ask her. But she's really just got a case of like a resting bitch face. She doesn't really have much of a bite to her. It's kind of all bark, but she does have a little bit of an attitude. Well, I've been thinking a little bit here on sponsorship. I've just got the one right now. And since I've switched to Podbean, I haven't had any offers on sponsors yet. So, but I've been mulling this over for a while, and I knew that I had to get a following built up before I was going to get many sponsors. That's kind of standard, and so I'm not worried about that part. I'm not really doing it for the money. The money, if it starts making money, that's an excellent benefit, but it's not my main priority here. So, but that being said, I know a lot of you like kind of small business owners that whether it be leather work or bit and spur, or whatever the case may be. You do very good work on your product, and then a lot of times you're too consumed with getting a good product out that the marketing kind of slips, or it's not where you'd want it to be. But if there's anybody like yourself included, or somebody that might want to be featured on the podcast as a sponsor, have them message me, or you message me yourself, and we'll work something out. The big deal with this, you've heard me plug several different products, and I'm not getting paid by anybody at the moment to do so. I'd be lying if I said the thought of somebody being a sponsor wasn't in the back of my mind, but it's not the reason why I was doing it. I like to plug people just because I like their product. So I don't I don't care if they hit me like the big corporate sponsors. I mean, I know they're gonna pay pretty good if it benefits them, but I like to highlight the small time folks, the people just getting started out, or just they've got their own little customer base and that's how they do it. But maybe you're wanting to expand or wanting to get your product out there to more people. Shoot me a message and we'll work something out. I'm always needing tack. I'm always needing boots or something. So, well, let's make a deal, and if I can help you get a little more business, and you can help me out a little bit, it's just I think it'd be a cool little partnership type deal, and it don't have to be any long-term commitment on either one of our parts. It's just if like I said, if you want me to give you a shout out and send everybody to your page of your business or whatever, or give you a holler, shoot me a message and we'll talk and work something out. So let me know what you think. So I I shared the meme last night, I believe, yesterday at some point, and I've talked about it before, but it's one of those Steven Crowder change my mind memes where you just, you edit out the whatever his change my mind is and you put yours, and it says Republicans and Democrats are both socialists who are arguing over how to spend someone else's money. And it could not be more true, and the proof being that Nancy Pelosi and the Trump administration, namely his Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, have come to a bipartisan consensus to suspend the debt limit until 2021. So they're making sure that they can just spend whatever they want to until the end of until the 2020 presidential election is over. So that way they don't have to worry about a government shutdown, meaning that they don't have to worry about doing their job. They can now just spend the rest of their time campaigning until the end of the election in 2020. So that's super cool. This is a knock on everyone up there, unless there's somebody that votes against it, and I'm sure it'll be people like Justin Amash, Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, Mike Lee, kind of the more libertarian-leaning folks will be the only ones that vote against it, or there might be some of those like Democratic socialist types that vote against it because it doesn't spend enough, but there's going to be very few people that vote against this, I guarantee you. And so the big news story of today, like I said, is that Mr. Robert Mueller, episode, we got to have more people like Rand Paul and Justin Amash. You may not agree with Justin Amash for do some digging and make sure that Trump did not become a Russian spy during the 2016 presidential election, and that he had no part in to the point of just blind loyalty in colluding with the Russians to help sway the election. And when it comes to
use the word collude
to government
because
spending,
it's a very vague term, and it's not a crime
unless you're in
actually.
Increased government spending, then fuck, he's doing
so
a
you
marvelous
could say
job,
that by
I think it's
and this is
pretty
just
well
a
safe
hypothetical
to say
example.
that
So this part
that you
is
can
real,
no longer consider
is that they're saying
the Republicans
Russia
small government
used
party.
They
want
a series of
the
fake
tax money
accounts
spent
to
elsewhere. And
sow
you
dissent
could almost
within
say
the U.S.
that they're more dangerous
and to help prop up Donald Trump.
the
So they say
socialist
that's
types
pretty well
that just
confirmed.
come out and say that they want more spending and they want more taxation.
And then
but the problem with
if this
the
part is the
Republican
hypothetical,
side is
so
they're
say
gonna
Trump says
still try to play
that
to the
Facebook
small
should
part
be free
or
and
small
open for all speech
ideas,
whatsoever, regardless of who you are
and
what your
they're
viewpoints.
gonna try to get tax cuts
technically,
passed,
you could say he's
which not in
with the
and of
Russians
itself is
because,
not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Because by him calling for free speech,
he
is
yet to
giving the Russian government a platform on Facebook
any type
and
of spending. I mean,
so therefore they're in collusion.
And the Trump administration cut
so
spending
these terms that
somewhere,
they use, it's good to pay attention
they made
to them
more than made up for it. And
it's all done
the
for
military
a reason. We call these people idiots, and a lot of them are.
Yeah, they just.
But
I don't see how anybody.
I would say probably
2/3
of them are just kind of idiots.
Honestly, believe
but
that
the ones at the top,
outside of a handful
of both parties,
of elected officials,
they're no dummies.
I don't see how they can.
And
truly
everything is designed for a certain reason. So these terms that have very vague meanings, they choose them for a reason.
Government. I mean,
and it's kind of subconscious.
They'll talk about it.
Type dealings,
they'll
but
all day long how they love.
You got to pay attention.
Ronald Reagan and the Constitution.
Like I said, so collusion
can mean
free market economics,
anything, or it could mean nothing.
They'll say that all day
long,
but then you
kind of like
at
every political statement ever given by a politician, almost.
They keep increasing the size of government.
It can sound real sinister,
and like I said, the part that makes
nothing.
them more dangerous.
Anyway, Robert Mueller is going to be
taxes,
testifying before
they're going to try
House today.
Decrease their revenue stream,
and
which is just a glorified.
As if the 2 years and 35 or so million, which I don't believe that number.
They want to
because I don't really believe much of anything the government tells me.
The size of their mafia organization, which they just extort you.
So
for
2
money.
years, 35 million.
So they
40
claim
some
that
FBI agents.
taxes,
I don't know how many people on his staff,
but they're for cutting
and
taxes.
Then
and
they
sometimes
400
get
and some page memo,
but they don't ever decrease spending. So
he found no evidence of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign.
It's just not a good.
And then he put out 10 instances
you
where
look at what they
Trump
actually
might have
in government, and there's almost
justice.
No difference between
and
the Republicans.
We've already
and
covered
the
that. Obstruction of justice is a bullshit
the only thing
charge
is they'll pick a couple
that they
place
on you
when
they got nothing else,
and they'll fight about those. But all the major stuff that is
like
really important
that
affects
tag light.
Like
hurts nobody.
Like
no real crime was committed, but it's a
wars,
way to slap something on
you.
Yeah,
they agree on that wholeheartedly.
Anyway, after all
that's
that
the one
time and money and
find bipartisan consensus
over this
when it comes to
Mueller report,
taking more of our money, spending more of our money,
because he didn't explicitly say that Donald Trump is best buddies with Vladimir Putin, and they call each other every night and whisper sweet nothings in their ear. Because Mueller didn't say that explicitly,
issues that are
it's
really
not
hot
good enough.
button.
So now he's got to go testify before
But at the end of the
Congress
day, affect very few people, and they'll fight about
I guarantee you there's
you
nothing
remember
that
the
will
fight
come
over the
of this,
transgender bathrooms?
It'll be a huge news cycle.
You had
but
that,
like I've said before, if this is what the narrative is being
throughout
pushed,
the country,
what's happening in the background. Well, in the meantime, we're still
and
on the verge of war with Iran.
Come out,
and
counter to
to play both sides fairly. Iran has been doing what appears to be some pretty fucked up shit on their own.
People can use the bathroom of their
they're not helping the situation either. So
in public restrooms.
Keep a close eye on
public
to see what else is happening today.
Government-owned buildings, the restrooms in there. So the Republicans came out with the law that says you have to go with your birth gender bathroom, and which both ways it's just pandering to your base, because who's gonna. I mean, there's not very many people that are going to be willing to speak out against somebody using the wrong bathroom. There might be a few, but more than anything, they're just going to be like, well, that's fucking weird, and leave. And that's that. But then on the Republican side, they pass these laws saying you have to use the bathroom of the gender that you were born in. Well, how did they plan on enforcing that? Nobody really knows. I don't know if they were going to have a bathroom monitor or what, but it was all bullshit. And in the meantime, we bombed a bunch more countries and spent a whole fuckload more money, and nobody really even talked about that. So that's what I try not to get too into these hot button issues, because they usually are not that important in the grand scheme of things, and they're usually designed to distract you from something else happening, and usually that something else is far worse than the issue that you're debating. So there you go. No debt limit till the end of 2020. That'll be cool. I'm sure we won't abuse that at all. One of the cool things about doing this little
podcast journey I've been on. I've said it many times, but it's just the interaction with everybody. It really makes my day when I get some feedback, you know. And there's been days where I thought the show really just kind of drug, and I wasn't on my game all that well, and I'll get a message from somebody that says, hey, you know, I enjoyed it, I listen every day. And you know, and there's a couple stalwarts that I like to mention, you know, from the Facebook group and everywhere else where they might find me. But you know, there's a handful are just like diehards, and I there's probably more than that just don't ever speak up. But you know, there's a few that I always notice on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter I've kind of neglected. It's just it's worth it more for me to spend more time on Facebook and Instagram. We've got a lot of momentum going there. And I do notice when people, you know, the people that are the most active, you know, like Miss Haley Bindewald. I call her my OG super fan because that gal not just likes but loves everything I post, it seems like. And so she's kind of right on the ball with it too. As soon as something gets posted, she's there you go, Haley with a heart on it. And so it's pretty cool. I like to acknowledge those people. Another one's Mr. Bennett Kirk. He's from Georgia, and Kirk Cattle Company, and he messaged me some pictures to be featured on the show. And I was an idiot and didn't realize that they were that they would disappear, because he DM'd me on Instagram. And so I said perfect, and then I went back to when I was doing I was saving all the photos so I could put them in the slideshow. I went back and they had disappeared, and I said, oh, son of a bitch. And of course he's in Georgia, I'm in Nevada, so he's about 3 hours ahead of me time wise. And so I sent him a message and said, hey, I need the pictures again because I didn't save them. And so they didn't make yesterday's episode, but they'll make today's. And but anyway, he asked if he could get a shout out for his cattle company, and I said, hell yeah. And I say that because if you guys didn't like what I was doing and you weren't listening, then there'd need nobody to give a shout out to anyways. And since you're kind of what makes the whole thing, I really have no problem giving a shout out. And so on that note, just I want to thank you guys for everything, and I appreciate you sending all the pictures in. I know you guys kind of enjoy that. Everybody likes to be featured, and you know, it's just I think it's kind of a neat deal. I'm not to toot my own horn that much, but I do like to just feature you guys in what we do, because like I said, all my descriptions, you know, it's either a podcast for the working cowboy or celebrating and highlighting the, you know, cowboy life. And if I'm not acknowledging my listeners, then I'm not doing a very damn good job of celebrating, you know, the cowboy culture when I've got a bunch of cowboys and cowgirls sending me a bunch of stuff. So hell yeah, I love to give shout outs. It is not an issue at all to me. So that being said, when you guys send your pictures, it's not a huge issue, but just to save me a little bit of time and to make sure that you guys are properly credited, and I don't mix up pictures or something like that, because I think I got like 30 some pictures yesterday. Something like that. I can't remember for sure, but it was a bunch, and so I went through, and I try to keep it organized by whoever submitted them. Do all their pictures first, and you know, put their name tag on there. But
if you guys can do that before you send them to me, that would save me some extra time, and that way it would ensure that I'm not going to screw up who sent it to me either. So if you don't mind, do that. And you know, I think that'll make everything go smoother. And then, you know, and if it doesn't have a tag or a watermark on it, or whatever you want to call it, you've seen what I've done on the video slideshow. If you can do that before you send it to me, I would appreciate it. And if you don't know how to do it, because some of you are technologically illiterate, kind of like myself at times, let me know, and I can walk you through it, or you know, or I can have somebody, you know, somebody do that for me. But if you guys would do that, I would greatly appreciate it. I love featuring your stuff in there, and I don't want to mix up pictures. I don't think you guys would get mad at it, but just in case, I don't think I've mixed up any pictures yet. So, but it'll save me a lot of time. Not a lot of time, but any time saved is good on my end, so I can get everything uploaded at a, you know, in a timely fashion, and it just makes the whole experience better for everybody. So yeah, if you can do that, that would help my cause out a bunch, and keep everything coming. I'll keep putting posts on Facebook and Instagram that you can comment with, or you just send them to me in a message or email, whatever. And actually, I've got an official website and email now, so you can go to burning-daylight.com, and that will be I lost a rein here, and that's my official web page. And also, with that comes my email. It's matt@burning-daylight.com. It's pretty easy. Hopefully you can remember that. And you can email stuff there as well, and go check it out. I'm gonna start posting. I'm just gonna share the folder of each day's episode there on my my photo gallery page, and that way not only are you on the podcast, you're on my website, and whoever happens to stumble across that website will see your name and your pictures there if they look on it, and get yourself a little free publicity. And I'm all about it. You know, competition's a good thing, but also collaboration. So I think we do a very good job of collaborating. It's kind of in our nature, you know, whether it's neighboring with people on branding and working cattle or whatever, you know. We that's kind of in our nature here in the country world, ranch and cowboy and everything. Pretty individualistic type people, but we're also very good at helping each other out, because we know that at some point we're going to need it ourselves. So yeah, let's keep up that kind of spirit, and yeah, like I said, just make sure you know I know who sent it, and that way it's accurate when it's all said and done, and we'll just keep having a good time with it. Well, folks, I think that's gonna do it for me today. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all supporting, interacting, all that, and mostly just listening. You know, it just kind of proves what I thought when I started this thing, is that there was a demand for it, and we've proved that. And I really can't thank you enough for tuning in every day, and bearing with me on my just erratic publishing schedule, and
But I'm working on getting that ironed out. It's every time I get a decent system started, then I decide to add something new to it or change it up a little bit, and it throws a wrench in the whole damn thing. So thanks for being patient with me, and we'll get it ironed out. As far as I know, there's nobody doing a podcast quite like I am, so there's some people I can talk to about certain equipment and whatnot, and as far as I know, there's nobody doing it quite like I do. Bobby does it kind of similar, but it's a different deal I'm doing, and so I'm almost 100% just learning as I go. And as I told somebody before, that the content is the easiest part for me. I've got endless thoughts rattling around in my head, and and even more useless information than I have thoughts. So I can talk about something all day, every day. That part's not a problem. The recording it is not a problem. Getting it to sound good and getting it into the interwebs is the time-consuming part. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me and being patient, and we'll get it ironed out. We're only a month in, so we've come a long ways in that time, and couldn't have done it without y'all. So I appreciate it, and keep tuning in. Just gonna reiterate, if you would, just tag yourself in your pictures, put a watermark or whatever it's called, just put your name or your Twitter handle or Instagram handle, whatever you want on there, that just shows that that picture is yours. Do that, if you would. If you don't, I'm not going to worry about tagging them, because it takes a little extra time that I could be spending with my family or something else. So it's not to say that I don't appreciate you. It's just I don't have enough time in the day to add another thing on. So if you would, just take a few extra seconds, tag yourself, and that way everybody knows that picture's yours. And on that note, go find me on Facebook, Matt McKinley, Twitter and Instagram at MickerMac85. Follow the show page on Facebook. It's Burning Daylight, at Burning Daylight on Instagram, at Burning Daylight 2 on Twitter. Google Burning Daylight on YouTube. And then, of course, the Patreon page is patreon.com/Burning Daylight. You can go contribute there. We'll get some bonus content out there for you. I think I'm going to do one episode of this Epstein deal with some of my college buddies. Well, I'm going to do the whole thing if I can get them talked into it. And but I think we'll do the first one as a regular episode, and after that, I think we'll save it for Patreon subscribers. And then there's my GoFundMe. Like I say, I hate asking for money, but if you feel the need to donate, I would surely appreciate it. And on that note, I'm gonna go put these cattle up and get stuff done before we start to melt again. So move your ass. We're burning daylight.